Ever wondered why a lot of people die without getting to know who they are? The ever-grazing question has always been, who am I? I remember a popular movie way back in the 90s titled Who Am I by our superstar Chinese actor, Jackie Chan. This book, Originality, by Kenneth Matthews, talks vividly about how to identify yourself before you die. I'm talking about having an identity. It is a very short book with just 55 pages, yet with so much information. Trust me, reading this book will change your life for the best. We have few contents from finding authenticity to the ever-grazing question, who am I? To next, also, originality of humans. Would you like to know the origin of humans? To also origin of thought and originality. And ending with creativity and originality elements. From the introduction here, it says that psychologists have discovered two paths of achievement in life, and they are conformity and originality. Conformity, as it is, means following the crowd down the conventional paths and sustaining the status quo. Originality, according to Kenneth Matthews, is taking the road less traveled, championing a set of great ideas to go against the grain, but ultimately make things better. From this definition, you would say that originality is actually going the rather difficult way, but coming out better than the path of the crowd, which is supposedly conformity. A renowned business executive known as Melody Hobson once observed that there are so few originals in life because people are afraid to speak up and stand out. A lot of people have died without knowing themselves. A lot of people have passed away without getting to even identify what they can do. This book talks vividly about knowing who you are. The first chapter, talking about finding authenticity, says here that it was Judy Garland who said, always be a first-rate version of yourself instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. Why try so hard to be number two when you can actually be number one? Authenticity shouldn't be mistaken for honesty or outspokenness, because authenticity is acting according to one's true self and behaving congruently with values and personality. Authenticity is simply being you and not trying to be someone else. We run all around our lifespan trying to be people that have already been made. Why don't you find time to think about how to be you, how to be the best version of yourself? That is what authenticity is about. From there, we move to the next chapter of this book that asks the billion-dollar question, which is, who am I? Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, according to Aristotle. In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Alice and the caterpillar had a fascinating conversation about purpose and identity. Who are you? Said the caterpillar. This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. Alice responded rather shyly. I I hardly know, sir. Just at present, at least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have been changed several times since then. I was the person that would passively pass through life. I breezed through the motions with autopilot on. I was a passenger just passing through. A lot of us just get to pass through life without having to achieve anything original. You have to catalyze an identity for yourself. It is called carving a niche. You have to make people know who you are, and you need to also let them know the authentic part of you, the authentic version of you. Always trying to be another person is more like shooting yourself in the leg. That's what this is talking about. Another part of this book that is very fascinating is the evaluation part. If you can look very well here, you will see that after each chapter of the book, there is a place where questions are asked. Questions that are rather meant to be answered in your mind. What do you think is your purpose? What do you think that purpose you mentioned is your purpose? Why do you think that purpose that you mentioned is your purpose? Even with what do you love doing, even without getting paid? Talking about your passion. These are questions, that we have in this book. Questions that you ask yourself. When you provide answers, it will lead you to becoming original. Another chapter in this book talks about originality of humans, knowing a brief history of humans and how we came about and what the journey has been so far as humans. The statistics of the amount of people that have been able to identify themselves before they died. The amount of people who have been able to have authenticity. This chapter talks very much about that, talking about your personality, your talents, and your skills. What are the things that you find natural doing? That's what this chapter talks about. Then we move to the next chapter that talks about the origin of thoughts and originality. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. It is an observation by the French philosopher René Descartes, which has since become a trite idiom of the English language. Nevertheless, it is a logical and foundational element. I love this chapter very well. That's why I'm reading it out. To begin with this concept that our very existence is tied to our capacity of thinking. Without thought, there will be no philosophy. And I dare say it, a precious few substantial functions will take place in the compendium of the mind. Luckily, human beings have been given the ability to have thoughts. But what triggers our thoughts? All these and many more will tell you that this book is filled with so much information, so much. It talks about where does your thoughts come from? Have you ever wondered where your thoughts come from? What are the things that generate your thoughts? Do your thoughts come from what you see alone or your environment, the activities around you? Where exactly does thoughts come from? It also talks about how to modify our thoughts to form creativity. How can you channel your thoughts into a creative idea? How can you metamorphose your thoughts into an idea that will stand you out? What are the things that you need to think about that will make you create something new? All these and many more are in this book. Then we also looked at the last part, which talks about creativity and originality elements. It says here that creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. Let me say that again. Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. On this note, I will round up my review for this impeccable write-up by Kenneth Matthews. Kenneth Matthews is a writer with over 2 years of entrepreneurial expertise. He has navigated the dynamic landscapes of media, entertainment, security, fund management, immigration, business growth, and technology strategy with unparalleled insight. In media and entertainment, he has demonstrated an innate ability to identify trends, harnessing the power of innovation to captivate audiences across the globe. His foray into security showcases a commitment to safeguarding assets and leveraging technology to stay ahead of evolving threats. In fund management, Kenneth Matthews, his financial prowess has paved the way for astute investments, yielding impressive returns. As a seasoned entrepreneur, Kenneth's legacy is not just one of success, but of continuous evolution, leaving an indelible mark on each industry he touches. Kenneth's wealth of experience is a testament to his leadership, innovation, and unwavering commitment to excellence. This is a book to read. Originality.